speaking of differences, who should be the manager of the year? The nominations have come out, guys, and Pep's on there. You've got, of course, Arteta is on there. Who else is on the list? Eddie Howe's on the list.
Does Lampard make it?
Is my mate Roy? Is my mate Roy on the list?
Lampard
No.
did not make it.
What about Hodgson?
Lampard didn't make it?
Well, no, Lampard's not on there.
Oh, man.
Conte's not on there. Who should win it? Because a few weeks ago we had Igao on here, who stated that no matter what Pep does or what Pep wins, it should be Mikel Arteta. What are you saying? I'm going to look carefully, Lewis. You've been quiet for a while. Who do you think should be the manager of the year, bro?
You're either looking between Pep or De Zerbi, realistically. Like, Arteta's done well this season with Arsenal. No one's going to take it away from him because the way things have ended, it's still going to leave a black mark in terms of Arsenal have achieved and where they should have been by the end of the campaign. De Zerbi, like, after Graham Potter left, everyone expected Brighton were going to take a downturn. They've been unbelievable this season. They're probably going to get into the European places. I think that's good enough to be nominated for it. Obviously, Pep Guardiola, because he's going to win the league, he should be up there as well. It'll be between one or the two. I've seen Eddie Howe in the comments as well. That's a great shout as well. Eddie Howe deserves
I think Eddie Howe's a shout.
It'd be one of the three, but I'd say De Zerbi. I'd go for De Zerbi.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 100% with Lewis. Like, I mean, even if Pep wins the league, like, he had a cheat code from Norway, so that's an asterisk.
But then shouldn't he get credit for being able to coach him into that squad? Because at the beginning of the season, everyone was like, not sure how he's going to settle. I don't think he's going to break the records.
No.
You know, he's not doing it by himself. It's a team sport, and he's being coached by Pep.
And I said no. So my thing is, I'm with Lewis, the Zerb. This is management. And the fact of most of these Brighton guys are guys we've never heard of. These are unknown guys we've never heard of. And the level of football that he's playing with these guys and how well they're doing and competing, that is the definition of management, getting unknown guys and getting them to play at a high level. Now, if Arsenal, who were top at 93% of the season, won the league, then Arteta. But Arteta shouldn't even be on this list because you've embarrassed yourself. Because to be on top for so long and to decline so badly during the key part of the season, I just think puts him out of the running. So for me, it is Eddie Howe is a very good shout. He's a very good shout. So, but for me, 100%, like what De Zerbi has done is out in terms of just coaching, management, improving players, tactics, getting guys to play from the back.
You're not being serious.
Terry,
You're not being serious.
Terry, can I ask you a question, Terry, quickly, because it might change the other people's answers as well.
Go on.
With this trophy, is this based solely on the Premier League, or does it take into consideration all competitions?
It's a public vote, so
okay, so it's
public. So for me, it's going to have to factor in other trophies. It must do, and the reason why I think it does, I hate this notion of ring fencing. What tournaments people have played in, because you don't play each tournament one by one. You don't do the FA Cup in the first 2 months, the league for 6 months, and then the Champions League for 2 or 3 months. They're all played at the same time. So to balance your squad, what Pep has done this season is not being the greatest thing he's done this season is not being discussed. The way he has maintained his fitness levels to be able to play as hard as they did last night on the 18th of May in a season that's unprecedented because of a break for the World Cup. To manage your squad to still be performing at your optimum now at the business end of the season is one of the greatest bits of management I've seen in the last 15 to 20 years. Is absolutely exceptional. I know what De Zerbi's done is great, and he deserves huge credit. Arteta's growth of Arsenal this year, he does deserve to be on that list. Have hope, in my opinion. What he's done in the growth of Arsenal this year is exceptional. What Unai Emery has done since taking over from Lampard, who was absolutely horrendous as a manager, has been impeccable.
No. You mean Gerrard?
Taking from Gerrard, absolutely impeccable. However, Pepper's guided his team to a Premier League title. They're going to win it. And they're in a FA Cup and a Champions League final, and on the edge, on the precipice of a treble, the second team in English football history to do it, and the 8th team in European history to do it. That achievement, in my opinion, it is only Pep that can win it this year. There's great shouts elsewhere.
Go on.
A treble.
Yes. So this is why I say that this voting now is actually a little bit early. I think It depends. If Eddie Howe gets top 4 and Pep doesn't win the treble, I think Eddie Howe, to be honest, with this Newcastle team getting the Champions League in his only second year in the job is amazing. Pep Guardiola, if he wins the treble, there is no doubt that he should win it.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because Pep Guardiola actually got over the talk about he can't play with Haaland, he's not a striker, new way, and he managed to get all of this behind him and play this amazing football. So, but you need to win the treble or only at least the Champions League. If you win the Champions League and the league, because he's expected to win the league, adding Erling Haaland to the squad, but the Champions League was the final mountain that he needed to climb. De Zerbi at the end plays amazing football and everything, but still he hasn't gotten into Europe yet. So I think this is early. And Terry said it, if he gets the triple, he gets the but he hasn't yet.
See, no, I agree with Mo though. Like, look, if Pep, I think Mo is right. It's too early. I think that let's wait until the very end of the season. If to win a treble, that is the greatest achievement you can have in a season. So if Pep wins the treble, without a doubt, it's not even a discussion. He deserves the award because of how you're able to actually succeed on all 3 fronts. That is literally the nirvana and the precipice of management. But my thing though for De Zerbi, you can't just hold. It's freaking Brighton. So you're saying that because he doesn't get top 4 with the Brighton, you should now hold that against him. The fact that he's able to get these guys to play at such a high level and to even flirt with the top 4, that is incredible management. So for me, like, that is a good shout.
Emery did it as well. So which one? So Emery is doing it the same.
So you're comparing Aston Villa to Brighton?
Size. Not big enough sample size, neither for me, neither.
Exactly. That's another thing. He hasn't. If De Zerbi get him to Europa League, yes, but to be honest, because Emery has done the same thing, it takes away from the manager.
Sample size is so much smaller, bro. So much.
Oh no! De Zerbi came mid-season, like I think in October as well.
I wanted to interject very slightly. Colin, you said a minute ago to have hope that he's like talking nonsense about it. I assume you're talking about his exclusion of Arteta.
No, I was referring to him having De Zerbi to have it over Pep. To be honest with you,
she doesn't back Arteta, bro.
Arteta should be on the list, but I'm not saying he should win it. But like, I just think it's almost a bit of a. I think we're almost forgetting and almost romanticizing a little bit because Pep keeps, delivering for Man City, whether it's a league, whether it's the domestic complete haul of things. Whereas
because he's backed by oil, so you expect.
I was liking you today, Have Hope, and you've just gone and ruined.
I'm just saying. I'm just giving the facts. I'm just here to spit the facts.
Listen, I think Terry's spot on when it comes to Pep because it's not only the whole management across every single competition, whether they win the treble or not, because they're in the final of the Champions League. They're probably going to win the Premier League and 50-50 on the FA Cup. He's still got them to these finals.
But he has to win it. No, Colin. No, we can't give him credit.
Did you just say 50-50 on the FA Cup?
Let me finish. Because it hasn't happened yet. But so talking about in this moment in time, this is the state of play. Man City haven't won the treble yet. They've not even won a trophy yet. Period. But let's use our brains for a second. They're gonna win at least one. There is no way they're not going to win at least one. So take into that context how far he's got them in every single one of those competitions, barring the Carabao Cup. We'll take that to one side. Then talk about bringing in Haaland, because I don't know why everyone's forgetting the conversation at the beginning of the season. People were not talking about Haaland how they're talking about them now. People were not backing him to break the record. They were thinking, it's going to take a few seasons, things like that. Part of that's on Haaland, but part of that is also on Pep and how he's managed the squad. So I think people being very disingenuous because it's Pep, because it's Man City with the money. I just think it's disingenuous.
Colin, who's overachieving more, Colin, then? Who's overachieving more? Is it Pep or is it Eddie Howe? Is it De Zerbi? Who's overachieving more?
So, but the award's not for overachieving. It's for the manager of the year.
Yeah.
If
shouldn't it just go to the league champion then?
That's traditionally it used to. Maybe once or twice.
There's no point of having nominees there. Wait, if it goes to the league champion, what's the point of even having nominees?
That's why you got to look at who's overachieved and who hasn't.
There we go.
I think you can look at who's overachieved. I think there's no doubt about it. Yeah. Problem is you've got to vote now. I still think all these awards should be voted for after the season ends. I think we want to do them early. Yeah. The reason they should be is I stand by what I've said. I think you look at all competitions and take it all into account because you play at the same time. Erik ten Hag could come in the top 4 and win 2 trophies this year and hadn't been nominated. Which, if he wins the FA Cup, it's ridiculous that he's not up for one of the. I don't think he should win it over Pep. I would still give it to Pep, even if we beat them as long as they win that Champions League and Premier League. I would still probably go with Pep. But the fact he ain't been nominated and he has the potential of winning 2 trophies, like if we're talking about Pep's potential of a treble, you've got to do the same. But yeah, Terry, for me, I just can't look beyond Pep this year. I just can't do it.
The reason why I asked you that question earlier about if it takes in all competitions is because last season in particular, I looked at it and I said, remember, City won the league last season, right? But Liverpool were on to do the quad this time last season, yeah? And when people were saying, oh, Klopp's going to get it, my view was, if this is based on the fact that Pep and Klopp just in the league, it's expected of them, then if you're going to say, you know what, we're not going to give it to Pep because he's expected to win the league, then you shouldn't give it to Klopp either. And then I'm all for, say, like this season, De Zerbi, maybe not Emery, but, some Eddie Howe, sorry. For me, it would be Eddie Howe. If it's not Pep, it would be Eddie Howe for me. But what you just said there, the reason why Klopp got it last year, and now what you said, rightly so, he got it last year, is because he was there or thereabouts in 4 competitions at the time of voting. So based on that, yeah, I'd agree with Pep. Now, I would also throw in there, if we just win the Premier League if it was just based on the Premier League, I'd be more than happy to say, now we expected to win that and give it to Eddie Howe. But if you're taking in the overall achievements, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? Fergie wasn't questioned.
On Klopp, the Premier League website, went on the award last year, mentions him winning trophies as well.
There we go.
So it clearly takes into consideration your overall achievements that season, as well as your league form, to be honest with you. And I think it absolutely should. We have some super chats here I want to go to. The first one says, let's have a little look here. I'll try and keep it on these subjects here. It says, first one says, easily couldn't have been a quad if United didn't win. Well, Southampton didn't beat them. Then it would have been, yeah.
Blame Calvin Phillips for that one.
Absolutely. Didn't Pep win a treble at Barca? Who should be the manager of the year for the Liga? I'd say Xavi. I don't watch the league, so I'm not going to give an opinion on it, Debs. I don't watch the league over there at all. This here says, Terry, your 99 United team lost the UEFA Super Cup, the Shield, and got battered in the Club World Cup. No, we won the Club World Cup, my friend. We won the Club World Cup. So I'm already, no disrespect, I'm going to stop reading because you've got that wrong. We won that in 1999. City will win. If City win the 6th couple, it's over. They'll be the number 1 English side. You compare trophies, right? But absolutely. And I've said, if you actually watch my video today where I talk about it, so again, if we're going to start including Community Shields now as trophies, then Man United are the most successful team in England. So we can all agree on that. However, I said in my video earlier on today, I've got no qualms with City being crowned number 1. If the majority of people think it, I'll debate back, but I'll accept it if that's the majority consensus and go, well, I know I've got my Premier League GOAT different from who's crowned the GOAT, right? We can have a personal view, but agree with what the consensus is. I'm a grown-up. What I will not accept is what Simon Jordan said today, where he said United scraped over the line and scraped the Champions League win. When you look at the caliber of teams we knocked out in 1999, I won't have my club played down because I've not said one negative word about City doing what they're doing, my friend.
That's character as well, bro. Sorry, that would take away a few of our Premier Leagues. That's character. That's how you win trophies.
Exactly.
Simon Jordan wouldn't know about that, to be fair, though, would he?
Exactly. Man United fan here. City, I applaud you on how efficient your club is run and the titles you have been winning. Rather that pain than in admiration I watch. Wishing my owners had half the brains your owners have.
They probably do. That's why they're making so much money.
Yeah, I don't think it's brains. I literally think it's a lack of greed. Igal said Premier League Manager of the Year should only be the Premier League. I disagree. The manager should be who represents the Premier League best equals Pep. Yeah, it should never just be about the Premier League. You're not playing one competition at once, but I agree with you. Terry, can you get the document you created to measure which teams is best and check where City would be? I have to find that PowerPoint doc. Now, we did a show once about 3 years ago where we created like a metrics and like for every achievement. So like how many points the Premier League has won, how many points winning it, like retaining its worth, doing a 3-peat's worth, doing a double treble. And we added it all together and Man United came out on top. I think with Liverpool or Chelsea second, Arsenal came in fourth. City after the last 2 or 3 years are definitely jumping up that category point. Yeah, so yeah, that'd be worth. We'll look at that again.
Do you know what that would be? Don't you think that would be quite good? Something Premier League should bring in, or Premier League or UEFA should bring in.
They'll never do it. They'll never do
an award that is based on, I don't know, not just one season. Because that's my one thing, that when you look at what City and United have done it as well, when you look at like kind of your era of probably, what was it, 98 to 2001? Well, you could probably go, to be fair, with United, you'd throw in more.
How far can you go back, Daps?
No, but I'm just saying, because it is interesting, because to win it, retain it, with also a load of trophies on top of that. For me, that's why Liverpool didn't do everything they did last season, because they were going for so many. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I wanted to